I've been reading your blog on the Huffington Post.
Yes.
And I know that you are involved in co-writing a book called
Shut Up, Skinny Bitches, The Common Sense Guide to Following Your Hunger and Your Heart. Good title.
Wow.
I know.
Now, what spurred this? Where did this come from?
Well, what spurred this is I did an article on an individual that I've known for a while who is an eating disorder specialist, and she kind of got sick of the book Skinny Bitch, which is all about, basically if you're skinny, you'll be cool and all that. And we wanted to do a book which basically said, you know what, it's okay, eat a hamburger. It's all right, among other things, but whittled down and watered down.
So there's a book called Skinny Bitch.
There is, it's phenomena.
This is your response to it.
Yes, it is, our response.
Now, you also have been Facebooking a lot lately about boycotting Ralph Lauren.
That's right, there's a Ralph Lauren boycott going on. This filmmaker, Daryl Roberts, who, you should check this movie out. It's going to be in San Jose in, I think, March, and Half Moon Bay in February, but the filmmaker is the director of America the Beautiful, which talks about body image disorder and basically the media images being sent to a lot of young women and young girls. And so he is doing a boycott on Ralph Lauren because Ralph Lauren this fall got caught photoshopping, certain ads making women look thinner.
I think we have some pictures of some of these ads that
do you?
Incited this controversy.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, that's Philippa Hamilton.
Oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
So you're saying these are Photoshop girls, they're not that skinny?
Correct, yeah.
This is the one that kills me.
That's the first ad.
That looks like a praying mantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see like in her waist.
She couldn't walk upright with a head that large.
It's out of an Alien movie, actually, if you think about it. Yeah.
How did that get past the editors or whatever? I mean, who looks at that and goes, that does not...
Yeah, that's the thing that the filmmaker wanted to address on CNN, but the CNN segment got canceled because Ralph Lauren sort of dangled a carrot, supposedly,
we can come back.
saying that they would, appear on the show, and then they sort of at the last minute just issued a statement.
So what's the statement? What's Ralph Lauren's excuse for these things?
Ralph Lauren apologized for the first ad, and then before they got on the CNN, they basically just said, we've been a company of integrity for 42 years, I think it's how long they've been around, and we stand by our product, and we apologize for the first ad that was photoshopped, but I think the filmmaker wants them to apologize for the second and third ad that he found after that first ad came out, and so that's why the boycott's going on. It's going on in Chicago next week, then coming probably to New York, and then San Francisco right after that, so, yeah.
What do you think about this, Kim?
Well, I think the boycotts will help. I think it'll get the word out to people, but really, this kind of education that young girls and teenagers need to learn needs to really come from from home. It needs to come from mothers. It needs to come from role models. It needs to come from teachers. It needs to come from babysitters. It needs to come from any other voices that young girls look up to.
Right.
That this is not okay.
Yeah.
Young girls aren't listening to boycotts. Boycotts are good for the companies to hear, but young girls that really need to hear it, that needs to come from voices that they'll listen to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have young children, right?
I do. I'm a mother of 2 daughters and 2 sons, and so my voice at home says your body needs to be the shape it needs to be for it to do the sports and do the activities that you want it to do. Mm-hmm. And you have to have the energy and the muscle tone that you need to.
Yeah, I think that girl could probably barely stand up.
No, and she couldn't play volleyball, she couldn't run a mile, she couldn't play roller derby, she couldn't, how could she go dancing with a body? If that was a true human form, she couldn't live a normal life.
There's a video that's been going around YouTube that's like a sped up, fast motion of a real girl. You see her at the beginning, no makeup, no effects, no anything, and she sits down and you see the whole process of how they make her up, do her hair, and then how they take the picture, and then how they enhance and Photoshop the picture.
Lengthen her neck.
Lengthen her neck, skinify everything, and you see the before and after. It's incredible. I mean, people have no idea how unrealistic these images are.
Yeah. Right. And it's gotten worse in the last decade. I mean, it's just really accelerated. And there's an issue that nobody's really even they address it a little bit, but even in like gay culture, I mean, the images that are being, presented to
gay men.
Yeah, gay men. Basically look like Abercrombie and Fitch model, basically. Yeah. And if you don't, then guess what? You're not going to be loved or get laid or whatever your preference is.
Right. And as a result, you get these cookie cutter boys like the ones we encountered in West Hollywood this summer,
That's true.
who all look exactly the same and are all incredibly hot.
Yeah, try to have a conversation
That's
with them. I dare you.
horrible. That's horrible.
It's
all
really
those hot
terrible.
people.
It's just
Hot people who can't talk.
People who can't talk because they're so hungry, they have no
So
energy.
sad.
There's
It's
no
so
oxygen
sad.
in their brain.
Feed them cookies.